Hi, my name's Andy James, and this is part two of the Tube Challenge route parody. Now, when you left us at the end of part one, we were at Upminster at the 10:41. Now, despite what Goran says, it's not 10:42, it actually is at 10:44. But he is right, it does get back in to Aldgate East at 11:23. I'm going to turn the thing over and let him explain for you.
Going until Aldgate East, where you're meant to arrive at 11:23. Run from Aldgate East to Aldgate Station.
So, he wants to run again. This is the first time he's actually done a run.
Okay, hopefully taking less than 3 minutes because there is an 11:26 Circle Line train.
There is no 11:26. The Circle Line trains are every 10 minutes and they are regulated at 00, 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. You get the idea. So the next train is in fact 11:30, so he's lost 4 minutes.
Departs Aldgate, which will take you around the curve here to Tower Hill and along to Sloane Square. Run from Sloane Square to the other platform.
Just remember, he says run. You could do this in 30 seconds if it's possible.
And take a train one stop back to Victoria, where you get a Victoria line down to Vauxhall. Now this is the next major.
Now, you'd have to be in the right door positions for every one of these connections. I don't think Goran has door positions.
Difference between this route and the old one. Okay, because of course, as I mentioned, there's the Battersea Power Station extension. Yes, I'm going to do that every time I say it.
So why say Battersea Power Station, it's a bit like me saying Battersea Power Station. I'd look like an idiot.
Okay. I anticipate arriving at Vauxhall at 11:53. Run up.
So he predicts an arrival of Vauxhall 11:53. This is if he got a delayed Circle Line train from Aldgate, if he's lucky enough. I predict more likely to be about 11:56.
The bus station where you can get any of the 156, 344 or 436 buses from bus stop E, and they will take.
So that bus will take around 5 minutes from Vauxhall to Battersea Power Station. Don't forget, you've got to run from the deep level platform at Victoria and Vauxhall to get up to the bus stations. And you also have to run down 2 sets of escalators at Battersea Power Station. So he's left himself 9 minutes. Is this possible? It is, but he's more likely not to.
Power station, okay, where you can get off and then get the 12:02.
It's more likely he won't get the 12:02 and he'll get the 12:08, which will put him down 6 minutes. But if he got it lucky, who knows?
Northern Line train to Kennington. Run from Kennington to the Morden branch platforms. Okay, I anticipate.
And the next 3 connections are pretty simple. You go up to Kennington, you come down to Stockwell, you go down to Brixton, you come back up to Stockwell, and you go south to Morden. So we'll skip ahead on this, and then he can decide where he wants to be.
Straight to Wimbledon up here. Okay, and if you manage to get that.
So he wants to take the bus 93 again from Morden to Wimbledon. This bus notoriously gets stuck in traffic and will take at least 13 minutes.
About 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, it's a really good connection. Problem.
It is a really good connection, but you want to get a 12:35 when you arrive into Morden at 12:36. Minus 1 minute connections are not possible.
We expect to arrive at Morden at 12:36, and the bus is meant to depart at 12:35. Okay, so it's a very tight connection. If you didn't manage to make it, it's not a big issue.
Why is it not a big issue, Goran? Because by going only for buses, you've limited your options now. So if you miss that bus 93, what are you going to do?
Okay, you can run up to Morden Road, tram stop here.
So Morden to Morden Road is approximately 0.7 miles. So earlier on in the challenge, he did not want to run 0.9 miles from North Harrow to Rayners Lane, so why should 0.7 be any different?
And get a tram over to Wimbledon, or run to South Merton station on the Thameslink.
A Thameslink in a tube challenge. That'd be a first.
Get a train to Wimbledon instead that way. Either or, okay, any of those works. Okay, and you should manage to get to Wimbledon at 12:49, allowing you.
So more likely he'll get into Morden at around 1:45, which means he's about 9 minutes down on his predicted Morden arrival. There is no way in hell he would make a 13-minute connection with a bus from Morden to Wimbledon. And he's also forgotten that there are options of going double backing to South Wimbledon, which is closer to Wimbledon.
To run and get the 12:50 District Line train from Wimbledon to Notting Hill Gate up here.
So this is where, again, he's selling absolute porkies. The 12:50 is a barking train.
Where the Olympia situation, well, no, not the Olympia, the West Brompton to Shepherd's Bush situation is alleviated.
What do you mean it's alleviated? You do not have to take the overground on an underground challenge.
Because, of course, you don't have to worry about doing that anymore. Okay, get to Notting Hill Gate at 1:12.
Where on earth are you getting your timetable information to? 1:12, you would never even make it from a 12:49 there before 1:17.
Run to the Central Line platforms and get the 13:15 Central Line service to Hainault. And you're on this train for about half an hour, so I recommend.
Can you say that? Can you say that again? Half an hour? So you believe that this train from Notting Hill Gate to Hainault will take 30 minutes? I think you need to reconsider, and it will take you 45.
Again, having a spot of lunch, basically. Okay, I'm dubbing that for lunch.
So you're going to have to take a lot of sandwiches in your duffel bag, and when you do have a duffel bag, that weighs you down. So why are you going to run in these corridors with a duffel bag?
It's a good opportunity to break out some sandwiches. Okay, you get to Hainault at 13:48. Okay, over here, and
so I didn't know Doctor Who did tube challenging because even the TARDIS couldn't turn back a 20-minute train. What is going on here?
so at the moment, TfL run a 20-minute shuttle service between Hainault and Woodford. Okay, and it's every 20 minutes. The next one's not until 1:57. So you got about
1:57 Hainault to Woodford service. I think Harry Potter and his magical wizard book of timetables is the one you're using.
10 minutes at Hainault. What can you do there? Toilet break, of course.
This tube challenge advice might be good for a 90-year-old tube challenger, as there are many toilet stops.
Okay, the toilet's on the platform, so go for it. Okay.
I should point out this is actually a staff toilet, but they might let you use it.
You get that train to Woodford. Okay. And from Woodford, get the next Epping service at 2:09.
It's not 2:09 because you fucked up with your timetables.
which will get you to Epping at 2:22. Wait for that train to leave again at 2:24.
So 2:24 departure from Epping. Very unlikely. Now,
take it down to Leytonstone.
So this is 2:24 when he's forgotten that he actually missed time off his route. So he's already 20 minutes down. This impacts into really about half an hour down on his route. So you would actually get into Leytonstone at about 3:15.
Now, I say run at Leytonstone,
Yes, he might have to run at Leytonstone because he has got into Leytonstone at 3:15, not 2:45.
I anticipate an arrival at Leytonstone at 2:45, and I think so. It's a 15-minute service on the Suffragette line, but that means that
even with these 15 minutes that he can't make, it doesn't really impact the fact that you took 15 minutes off a Central Line train.
One before the 15:03 is the 2:48, which would involve making a 3-minute run to Leytonstone High Road. I don't see that happening.
I do. It's in a magical, mythical world where you get your timetables wrong.
That's much too tight a connection. You could probably afford like a leisurely walk, if I'm honest.
A leisurely walk from a timetable that doesn't exist.
Okay. Anyway, Walthamstow Central. Okay, there is a 15:14 Victoria Line service that will take you whizzing along to
Now let's just say he gets into Leytonstone at 15:14 and he can make it back to near enough 10 minutes from Walthamstow to make it about 3:30. I still don't think he's got his timings right.
Go to Warren Street, change for the Northern Line, go one stop down to Gooch Street, where hopefully you can run to the other platform, and there will be an Edgware branch train departing very shortly.
So again, in a magical, mythical world where every train that you want goes to the direction and the destination that you want.
And of course, if not, you can always go up to Camden Town and
Some good advice here from Goran. Switch the branches.
here for the Edgware branch. Okay, now you get that Northern Line train to Edgware. Okay, you're meant to arrive at about 4:05, 16:05.
Now, I'm going to add 30 minutes onto this, so probably 16:35.
And this is where it's another luck of the draw what happens, because what you want in an ideal, perfect, brilliant world is to actually get your timings right. Would be to get a 1:42.
Now, in my years of tube challenging, I've never seen a 142 ever turn up. Ever.
You want to get a 1:42 from Edgware here, okay, which will take you up Stone Grove and then along London
I'm surprised he hasn't noticed there's a McDonald's there. You can get some food.
Road here straight to Stanmore Station. But I had a look at the bus schedules and it's unlikely to happen, I'd say. Okay, you're more likely to get. I'm going to keep that up. You're more likely to get the 79, 186, or 340. Okay, and that will take you to Canons Park Station, where.
Don't forget, taking this bus will not get you to Stanmore. You will have to get the Jubilee northbound to Stanmore, where you might have to wait at Cannons Park.
You can, of course, get a Jubilee line train up to
This is about the sixth time I think he's gone to the toilet in a chew challenge. Now, I'd probably suggest not drinking as much fluids as you do.
Okay, so do that there, and then you get the five. What is no, not the 1621 Jubilee Line train out.
So the 4:21 Jubilee Line train out of Stanmore. I'm going to add half an hour onto that as well. So I would say 10 to 5.
Stanmore all the way down to Baker Street. Okay. From Baker Street, change for a subsurface line train. Okay, so that's any of the Circle, Hammersmith, and City or Metropolitan lines. Okay, and take one of those to Moorgate. Moorgate, change for Northern Line, and hopefully it is a Mill Hill East service. If not, no problem. Okay, just get on, as long as you're on the High Barnet branch, that's fine. Okay, again, change at Camden Town if you need to. Okay, and go to Finchley Central, get off there. Now, according to my schedule and route that I found, it is...
The route that you found, was this in a magical treasure chest or is it at the bottom of Davy Jones's locker? Because this treasure chest was obviously drawn up by a pirate who obviously didn't understand the tube challenge.
It is a High Barnet train, not Mill Hill East. Okay, you're meant to arrive at Finchley Central at 5:30.
So he arrives at 5:30. Now, so he gets out of Stanmore at 4:21. So it takes half an hour to get to Baker Street, which takes at least 20 minutes to get across to Moorgate, and then another 20 minutes at least up to Finchley Central. So he believes that every connection will be about 5 seconds. This is laughable at best.
Okay.
I would probably add maybe 30 to 45 minutes to this route already.
Where the next Mill Hill East service isn't until 5:41, so you've got about 10 minutes. Great opportunity.
So 5:41, Mill Hill East. We're at half an hour to that.
Using the toilet on the platform. Okay, so 5:41, get the train to one stop over to Mill Hill East.
I would suggest getting the actual toilet at Mill Hill East while you could be waiting there 7 minutes. So what's the point in missing a train going up to Mill Hill East when you have the toilet at Mill Hill East?
Go from Mill Hill East back down to Finchley Central, change for a High Barnet train, and get that to High Barnet, which comes in at about 18:06, about 6:06.
So 6:06 at High Barnet. I'd still add half an hour onto this.
Okay. Now, this one, again, you've got now a connection between High Barnet and Cockfosters. Ideally, you would want to get a 384.
So the 384 is the lazy man's tube challenge bus. It goes all the way around houses in the Barnet area.
Okay, which will go from High Barnet through New Barnet over to straight to Cockfosters. I looked at the schedules. Unlikely to happen. What's more likely, I think,
What's more unlikely to happen is you getting laid, Goran.
is getting a 307, which goes through New Barnet as well, but instead goes to Oakwood, so you'd have to get the Piccadilly line one stop at Cockfosters.
Now, a previous tube challenger called Adham Fisher, who previously set the world record at about 20 hours for 2 extra stations. Now, he loves taking the bus to Oakwood and still believes that this is the fastest route. It is not. He will always be wrong.
You could absolutely get off one stop earlier at Cockfosters Road and run up to Cockfosters Station. It's up to you, I would say. Okay. Okay. So, where are we? So, Piccadilly line at Cockfosters. This is at about 8:35. Okay. Where you get the Piccadilly line
Did you say just 8:35? I think you meant 18:35.
You're on this train for about an hour as well, so I recommend this is the dinner time train, isn't it? Okay, where you need to get out and run to other Hammersmith station, where you get a Circle or Hammersmith and City Line train to Edgware Road. Okay, meant to arrive at Edgware Road at 7:52. Hop to the other platforms to get a District line from there or Circle line, whichever train is there. Okay, at 7:54, and take that round, knock out to Bayswater, and go. Now you only have to go to High Street Kensington, okay, because we anticipate an arrival at High Street Ken at 8:01. Okay, where you should be able to pop up to the street to.
What is it he's doing with his hands? Is it the Vulcan sign for good luck? Because don't forget, you've lost half an hour. Again, over-reliance on the buses will be his downfall. He'll rely on them too much.
Get a bus from there straight to Olympia, and then it's just a short run down there. Okay, now I worked that out.
Now, you're more than likely going to be at least 30 minutes down by this point, which means coming down from Cockfosters, you're going to have to take out Kensington Olympia then. Then I would suggest to do the loop. But this is going to set you back half an hour at least.
And will take you to Earl's Court, where you can wait a few minutes for a Richmond train. Okay, take that down to Richmond, back up to Turnham Green to Acton Town, and then Acton Town at about 8:59 down to Hatton Cross and catch all the Heathrows in whichever order.
Now I would probably add at least 30 to 45 minutes for this route. So he's going to come out with about 17 hours for this route.
Heathrow Terminal 5. Now, all of that, okay, I anticipate finishing at Heathrow at about 9:30, I'd say. So, if you started at 5:16...
5:12, Goran, if you remember.
That's just over...
That is the exact same route as one of the previous record holders of the 270.
But either way, 16 hours, okay, where the current record is 18 hours. Okay.
Current record is actually 17 hours 45 minutes.
More optimal route. Okay. It is more risky, as in,
It's risky because you use the TARDIS to go back in time in the central bit, and then all your timings were wrong from there.
Everything's running smoothly, everything's perfect. Okay. But in any case, I think, and if I ever do the tube challenge, this will be the route that I use.
I'm sure it will be the route you use.
And if you do plan on doing it and you use this route, then
Anybody who wants to use this route, you're going to be about at least 17 hours. Maybe longer.
Anyway, that's that. That's the video, I think. As always, if you enjoyed it, hit like, hit subscribe, do all the things, and I'll catch you in the next one.
I would say yes, do subscribe to his channel. But let's sum up here. So, at the start of the route, Chesham to Rickmansworth and Watford, perfectly on spot. Down into Harrow on the Hill, it's okay. Acton Town, South Acton, no chance in hell would he make a 6:42. He would make a 6:52. But you can make the time back. Into Ealing Common, he's got his timings wrong again. And also, from Eden Broadway, he's got his timings wrong down to Holland Park. But I agree, his Holland Park double back does have a lot of merit to it. Holland Park to West Ruislip, he's got his timings wrong again because his train doesn't exist. And this impacts all the way down into his route, but he does get back on time into Aldgate East, where he fucks up again. Aldgate he's mucked up his timetables, and he's going to be 4 minutes down, which will impact into his Battersea change, which will make him at least 9 minutes down into Morden when he gets there. When he gets into Morden, he's going to find a very tight connection up to Wimbledon, so he's not going to make a 12:49, which will never ever make a Notting Hill Gate 1:12. I don't know where he gets his information from for that. The 1:16 Notting Hill Gate will get into Hainault at 2:08, not 1:48 that he predicts. So if you were still on his route, you'd probably find you were a Hainault loop train down. Now, once you realise that, you realise that all his route falls apart, and you'll probably end up about half an hour behind on his schedule. So in retrospect, he has buggered up the central line, and he was a TARDIS making liar. He can't go back in time 20 minutes. But never mind, it's a good thing, and I'm going to salute him for coming up with that route. I'm going to criticise some more routes in the future when I find them.